Hey guys. Okay, so I have to record this in two parts. Originally, I wasn't trying to do that, but you guys know sometimes with this phone space, how it's acting up, and it looks so dark. But okay, so anyways, guys, let me finish up these because I don't want this to cut off again. Going back to what we were talking about with the baking, you got to work with the strategy that God has given you, and then also with the chapter. Like you want to celebrate the chapter that you're on. Because remember, you were in a different chapter or book or season before. Now look at where you are. And then look at where you're going. And you got to know that greater is up ahead for you. Bigger and better is up ahead for you. So don't be so, and it could be where you're looking at those people, because I saw that, where you're looking at everybody else and what they got going on, but you got to focus on you. You can't lose sight of you. You got to focus on what God has for you to do. Because it's people that look up to you. It's people that need you, whether you've met these people or not. God got great plans and works inside of you. And you never know who you inspiring behind the scenes. You never know who low-key watching or looking. You never know whose words that you probably spoke with those people a time ago or some years ago that still resonates with them and have inspired and touched their life. But God knows. God is well aware. Right? So you just want to be focused, trust him. And if he got you right now, reading the book and being in the chapter, be found faithful and focus on that book and chapter. If he giving you 2 and 3 books, he going to help you with his grace to be able to handle it. If somebody right now don't have a book, that's their business. That's them and God's business. Right? Like we used to say when we was little on the playground at school, when we ain't like something somebody had to say, talk to the hand because the men don't understand, or they'll say this is an A and B conversation. You need to see your way out of it. Right? That's a little joke, but it is serious. If that person got that going on, because some people don't want to do the will of God. Some people have not paid the sacrifices that you have paid. Some people don't have that level of intimacy and relationship and love with God like you do. Some people don't have your level of commitment like you do. Some people haven't gone through everything that you've gone through, your mountains and valleys like you have, and vice versa. And you got to be focused with what you and God got going on. You really have to be focused with what he has given you. Because if I'm trying to read all these different books and have all these different things on my plate that he ain't assigned to me, who you think that's going to burn out? That's going to burn me out. And that's not his intention, because whatever God is giving you as part of his will, he's going to guide. He's going to provide. He's going to provide the wisdom. He's going to provide the finances. He's going to provide the grace. Hear me. He's going to provide the mercy. He's going to provide the strength. He's going to provide the sustenance and the substance. He's going to provide along the way. And for some of you, like we've been talking about, our entire theme for August was preparation. And even before this year, we did a preparation video. But God is saying that again for someone. God is seeing how you're handling this chapter and this level before he gives you more. Some of you, you don't realize why you had to work the way you did in certain companies or for so long, or why you were in certain seasons that you were in. But it was not just because you would just go through that and that's it. It was because he was preparing you for what was going to be up ahead. Let's say that I really wish I had time to really talk to y'all the way I really want to talk to you guys. But I'm going to just give you guys these, and maybe another day we can do this live or on the prayer line. I don't know, when we have like way more time and space. When I say space, I mean like storage space with this phone. So, you just have to work with what he has given you. Okay, for example, then I'm going to give y'all these other words and I'm going to close. And I don't mean to rush, guys, but I do have to get on the road. So, for an example, let's say that for 5 years, God said to you, I just want you to save. You're working, you're doing what you need to do. And you're enjoying your life and different things also at the same time. But you're being responsible with saving. You don't know why he's telling you to save. It's wise to save, to have a rainy day fund, or just save so you can invest and, different things what God leads you to do. It's just wise to have it. The Bible speaks about that also, preparation and prepare and seasons and different things. So you don't even realize that during them 5 years that you had saved, or you about to start saving, or you were saving. It's not saying put your trust in those things. Nobody miss me. Our trust is in the Lord. But we also serve a wise God, and he blesses us with his wisdom, right? As his children. Just like you bless your children. We are his children and he blesses us, correct? So you were being faithful with saving. And then let's say 5 years down the line, something that you thought was going to take 15 or 20 years to get, because you were obedient and faithful to save, this opportunity came and you have it. God could give it to you for favor or a discount. It could be a situation where, let's say you can't work no more because you got to take care of a family member. I'm hearing this for somebody. You got to take care of a family member, or you got to, it's just your season of life has changed. You're going to be grateful that you saved, because it's a time where you can't, now you're in a time where you can't do, this ain't for everybody, but this for somebody. You can't do what you used to do, or things not how they used to be. You're going to be glad. See, you probably were just thinking, oh, I'm just saving and putting up, for this or that. But you preparing and being wise and listening to God, look at what that opens up, not just for you, but for others. And then it could be a point in time where God is saying, okay, I'm taking you away from that because now I'm pulling you more into full-time ministry. And this is not the case for everybody, because sometimes you really do just have to go in faith. It's not saying that person not going in faith, but sometimes some people really do just have to go in faith. They got to go in step with God. Sometimes he may just call them off with no savings, just like he did me. He called them off with no savings, no backup plan, because he wanted to see, I don't want your ABCD backup plan like you usually have. I want to see, do you really trust me with this? And I want to see if you're really going to give me what I'm asking for. So whatever it is for you, it don't even have to be that. That's just an example. Right? So you will be glad, even with ministry or business or education, or just you being a mom or a dad, or just being there for people, or just doing what you're doing to be there for your family or whatever, or just, bettering yourself or becoming a better person or whatever. You're going to be glad that you didn't give up in times when you wanted to give up. You're going to be glad that you still continue to trust God even when you couldn't trace him, even when it didn't make sense. Excuse me, guys. You're going to be glad that you continue to persevere and press on, and, amidst different emotions and amidst different seasons and attacks and different things, that you kept going, because look at where it has you today. And not only look at where it has you today, look at where it's going to take you. See, you have to see the significance and the value of not just physically. You can't just look at this physically. You have to look at this spiritually. Also, you got to look at this through the lens of God. You got to look at this through the eyes of God. You got to look at this eternally. You got to look at the impact, right? You got to look at the significance, the purpose. And you can't be one-sided. You got to see this thing for what it is. Because if you get so stuck in one area, in one spot, seeing something just one way, that's all you're going to see it as. But that does not mean, just like I wish I could flip this thing and show y'all this plant. Just because this plant is this one way, it doesn't mean that's the only way for me to see this plant. Just like this house. You can see the house from the street, but this is not the only place to see this house. You can see it from down the street. If you come in this way, you can see it from there. It's different angles. So that's how we have to be with God. We got to see it from his point of view. If it was meant for us to be God, we would be, but we're not. So we got to trust him as he is. We got to trust God to be God and know that he never failed me before. He won't fail me again. Let me move on, guys, to these other words. Another word that God said for someone, he said, vacation. Don't burn yourself out. Amidst what's going on with this virus, yes, use wisdom and different things. But for some of you, you need to take a vacation. You need to take off, from work, or use your vacation hours, or use that paid time or whatever. And you need to take some time to not burn out. You need to take some you time. Even if some of you may need to take a staycation. If you're married, take a vacation. That's what it is. A vacation is the new one. I don't know if it's new, but take some time for you. Take a bubble bath. We talked about this before. Go grease your scalp. Go out and get your nails and feet done. Go out and take a walk. If you're like, I can't really do all that right now because my house full, my hands full, my mind is full, then go somewhere in the quiet place. If you got to go in the bathroom, if you got to go in your car, if you got to, while you're going out getting groceries, take some extra time to talk to God and let him speak to you through a song, through a sermon, to clear all that up. Because sometimes, guys, That's what it takes, because sometimes it's you getting out of the comfort zone and the comfortable environment and what's familiar to come back more rejuvenated and refreshed. You know, it could be that you maybe need to go, sit at the park and just look at the water. Whatever it is for you to hear what he's saying. Elijah, going back to First Kings, or was it Second Kings? With Elijah, when he ran away from Jezebel, we did an entire teaching on him. When he ran away from Jezebel, the Lord didn't call him there, but the Lord still spoke to him while he was there. He was out of that place of fear. He was out of that place of death and threats, and he was able to hear the Lord, get the word of the Lord, get refreshed, get a meal. The angel of the Lord ministered unto him, and he was able to go back and anoint what God had for him to do and complete his mission and assignment before the Lord raptured him up in them chariots. And also the mantle dropped on Elisha, so it wasn't that it was just Elijah's life blessed. Elisha's life was blessed, and then who and what came after them, who they were connected to. See, like I keep telling many of you over the years, you keep thinking that it's just all about you. God is not inconsiderate when it comes to you, but it's not all about you. It's not all about me. There's a bigger goal in mind. There's a bigger purpose in mind. And we need us to get to our next level, because there's times in life where people, it's just like a bus stop. Some people gonna get on, some people gonna get off. Some people gonna stay for the ride. Some people gonna leave when they feel like it's getting too hard, or they feel like you ain't going nowhere, or they feel like it's too long, or they got what they got, so now they're ready to get off. Some people gonna stay on that ride, and some people are not. And some people are just seasonal. But you gotta be able to handle that ride with God during your bus stop, your bus of life, if that makes sense. You need you to get to your next level. So you don't want to be broken. You don't want to be bitter. You don't want to be so low, like on your energy or different things. You want to be built up. You want to be healed. You want to be whole. You want to be strengthened. You want to keep God as your center. How do you do this? Take it day by day. Take it step by step. Take it breath by breath. And walk with God, because see, you need that, like we were talking about in part 1, you need that for your health, for your physical health, for your emotional health, for your mental health, for your spiritual health. Some of you can't help everybody. Jesus couldn't even help everybody. Everybody don't always want help. Jesus, when he was doing the miracles and teachings and different things, when his assignment this season was up in certain towns, he had to move on to the next town. I'm sure there were some places he wanted to stay a little bit longer, but he had to focus on his kingdom assignment. And I'm talking to you in love. If you are being burnt out and you're not taking heed and hold to what God is giving you for you, how can you help someone else? Now, I'm not saying don't help people if you're going through and you do feel tired and burnt out. You help them, but I'm saying this is a person where God has been telling you, hey, chill, relax, take a chill pill. I want you to focus on yourself for a little bit. Unwind, unplug from social media, detox. I want you to go on the fast. It could be a physical fast, or it could be a fast from social media, or just from different things in life. But you steady just pushing. No, God, I got this. I know how to do this. But he's the one telling you to do it, because he see things you don't see. And then what you do think you see, it's more than that up ahead. And he don't want you falling into that. So he's telling you to do those things for a reason. So when you come back, you're going to come back better. And you're going to be a better you. If I am thirsty, right? If I am thirsty and everybody around me want water, and I won't take time to just drink even a little sip of water, but I'm giving everybody water, and then I'm gathering and getting water that I don't even have once this run out, what do you think is going to happen to me? While everybody else around me getting hydrated and their thirst quenched, and this doesn't have to be literally. This could be people coming to you with their problems, or just different things you have on your plate, or just like we talked about before with the boundaries. What you think gonna happen to me? What you think gonna happen to me? I'm not gonna be able to help nobody, because I'm barely able to help myself. And I didn't take not one sip of water, and I'm giving everybody what I have and don't have. What's gonna happen to me? And I'm not saying that those people not gonna come and offer you water, but if they see you need water and they steady taking from you and they not offering to give you a sip, what does that say about them? So it may be a situation where they may not come back and help you, or it may not be genuine. So God telling you to look out for you. Yes, God have people sometimes where they can't give back to us, support to us the way we do to them. Don't miss what I'm saying, because we have a lot of videos on here talking about it. So I don't want you guys to come in on one video and take it out of context when we have so many other videos with the word and different things talking about it. The fact that God is giving me this again for someone in these different points, he's saying this for someone for a reason in the now. That's why I'm taking time to record it and release it. That's why other people that taking time to pour and invest in you, he's telling them to get that to you for a reason, or he's speaking to you directly. You know, so don't neglect you. Don't neglect you in whatever area it may be. Okay? Don't let people say you're too high maintenance, you this, you that. You need you. And the right people around you will not say that. I'm praying that God bless you with mutually beneficial people. You know, there are times in life where people can't pour back into us the way that we pour into them. But that reward will be reaped eternally. And we'll get that harvest in this life also and eternally. Just like it's some people that poured into you that you can't pour back into them the way that they did. Whatever area measure it was. But I'm saying for the person, if God is telling you, hold still, and stand on me and stay with me before you topple over, before you give out, and you're not taking heed to let him fill you up and drink this water, how can you help someone else? Because it's going to be a time when you're going to need help. He's trying to be your help. So listen to him. Listen to him. Okay, let me give you guys these other points and I'm going to go. We talked about strategy. You got to work the strategy that God gives you. Some of you, therapy, the Lord showed me this and he's been showing me this and I released it as God has been giving over the videos. But therapy, some of you, it's okay for therapy. It's okay for good, godly Christian therapy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't let people try to say this is not cultural or this is not that or that. Somebody that's licensed in Christian